Good morning, everybody. It is 2 minutes to 8 o'clock. 2 minutes till we start on a pretty grey Thursday morning, unfortunately. But not a panic, because we're going to bring the sunshine in here, right? I know, cheesy. 2 minute warning till we get started. Today's workout overload. So do me a favour, grab a pair of dumbbells if you have them. If you can get a weighted backpack, grab a weighted backpack, or just a towel will do. So, pair of dumbbells if you got them, weighted backpack if you've got it, pull the straps tight, fill it with anything you can, and if not, just a towel will do. So we've still got about a minute and a half till we get started, so you've got time to go and get your stuff. Other than that, you will just need something to put your feet on, so maybe the side of the sofa, but don't worry if you haven't got that, and then just something to drink. So 1 minute until overload. Now, if you're here, you're ready to go and you're waiting alongside me, now's your time to practice some of those key movements that you potentially sometimes struggle with. So you might want to practice your squat pattern. So feet just shoulder width apart, feet at 1 o'clock and 11 o'clock. I want you to screw those feet into the floor. So you're trying to send your toes away from each other. Friction will probably keep them in place, but what you might find is that your knees track out slightly. From here, as we start to lower, I want you to try and rip the floor apart. That's going to engage those glutes and then drive through your heels, squeeze the bum. Reset if you have to. Screw the feet, spread the floor, drop and drive. Beautiful work. So you might be working through a couple of those squats, really refining that pattern. You might have a bit of a bad back. Sometimes bending over triggers it. So you might be practicing a hip hinge. Soft knees, toes facing forward, core braced, tiny pelvic tilt. Show that bum off ever so slightly. Send the bum back, sit on those heels, find that hamstring, squeeze the bum. Sit on those heels, squeeze the bum. So you might be practicing those. Beautiful. So we're going to be going in 30 seconds. So today's workout, overload. Grab yourself a pair of dumbbells if you've got them. Grab a weighted backpack if you've got it. But if not, there's plenty, as always, of bodyweight alternatives. And if you're using those bodyweight alternatives, quickly go and run and grab yourself a towel for me. If not, we are going in 15 seconds. And we're going to start with a nice little bit of mobility. 10 seconds to go. While we're going through that mobility, I'll give you a little rundown of how today's session is going to work. 5, 4, 3, 2, okay, let's go. So eyes on me for the first one, please. We're going to stand up nice and tall. We're going to drop down into a nice big reverse lunge. Hands go to the floor. Whichever leg's forward, I'm going to rotate towards that leg. Both hands go back down. Then I'm going to try and straighten both legs. Stand up, repeat on the other side. Hand goes down, rotate towards that knee. Both hands on floor, straighten both legs, stand up. 45 seconds working through that, please. So today's going to be slightly lower impact than some of our normal indoor virtual sessions. So it's going to be nice, slow and steady, but that doesn't mean we're not going to get just an effective training effect. Today's all about thoughtfulness and quality. So although the impact is low, the intensity in terms of how perfect we're doing everything is still going to be high. Good, 20 more seconds working through that reverse lunge, lower body rotation to hamstring stretch. The reason we're called overload is because we're going to split the workout into 3 sections. A lower body, an upper body pull, and an upper body push. And we're overloading certain movement patterns. Thinking about perfection every time. 5, 4, 3, 2. From here, nice wide stance for me, please. We're going to do a Cossack squat. I'm going to choose the side that I'm going to drop to, so I'm going to choose my left side. As I drop to my left side, my right leg rotates. That opens up the hips, allows me to sit low and then drive through the heel. You'll feel the hip opening up on both sides. You'll feel the hamstring getting a lovely stretch. I just want you to work for 30 seconds, bouncing back and forth, nice, slow and controlled. So our overload workout, overloading our legs with our lower body section, overloading our pulling muscles, back and biceps essentially, and then overloading our pushing muscles, chest, shoulders, triceps. Beautiful. And I just want you to have that in mind while you're going through this mobility part, while you're going through the whole workout. We're looking for perfection. Perfect reps, under control the whole way through. Beautiful. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Back down in that press up position for me, please. We're going to go down dog. Chest through shoulders, heels to ground. As we come forward, we drive one knee, rotate it 90 degrees, drop into that pigeon. Down dog, then switch legs, drop into that pigeon. 45 seconds, off we go. Now on the down dog, I really want you to try and get your chest through your shoulders and those heels to the ground. We want that nice stretch through the chest, nice stretch through hamstrings and calves. On the pigeon, we're trying to feel that on the outside of the glute. Get that knee high and around, and then you can just sink nice and controlled into it. Beautiful work. 20 seconds to go. 20 seconds down dog to pigeon. Beautiful work. That nice, neat flow. So, into that down dog, get that chest through, heels to ground as we drive up and around. I'm just trying to drop down onto that knee. Pigeon, down dog, then pigeon, other side. Good. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Very nice and relaxed. Hands and knees for me, please. We're going to reach through as far as we can. Reach open as far as we can. Sit onto heels. Come back to middle. Reach through. Reach open. Sit onto heels. Just trying to open up that upper back. Open up those lats. Give me 30 seconds of that one. We only need 30 seconds. Good. Off we go, team. Beautiful work, beautiful work. Then we've got one more little movement and then we're good to go for our first round of overload. 5, 4, 3, 2. Last one. Standing for me, please. We're going to focus on a little bit of hip strength, mobility, control. Stand yourself up nice and tall. Core pulled in, bum squeeze. You're going to lift one leg. Imagine there's a fence next to you. You're going to step over the fence. Now watch this. I'm going to send my knee down, my foot up, back to neutral, and then step back over the fence. Let's see if I can do that a little bit smoother. Knee up, over the fence, foot and knee rotate, come back, round and down. So it's that strength to keep the hip up, that mobility to try and open up to 90 degrees, then rotate, back and control. Good, give me another 30 seconds. Up, out to 90, rotate, back, round, down. Now you'll feel this in the outside of the hips. We're just trying to really activate those so that the hips can move freely. Beautiful work. Up, over the fence, rotate, back to middle. So you can't rush this, you can't rush this. Middle, open, rotate, and back. Now watch this, staying on one foot, you're gonna pick up one leg. With your knee, you're just gonna draw a figure of 8. Good, so we're really trying to open up those hips, keep them controlled. Give me 5 more seconds on one leg. 4, 3, 2, and now finally with this other leg, and then we'll get cracking. Keep that core tight, drawing that figure of 8 with the knee. Again, just trying to get that bit of mobility through the hip, and then we're good to go. Give me 5, 4, 3, 2, beautiful work. Grab yourself a drink. Okay, let's get started. So our first little overload block is a lower body block. Now we're going to work for 8 minutes. Within that 8 minutes, I want you to get anywhere between 3 and 4 rounds. I don't want you rushing. This isn't an arm wrap, so it's not more is better. It's all about quality is better. So what's going to determine your speed is the speed of the contraction and a few key points I want you to think about, but also your number of reps. So per exercise, we've got 3 exercises. You're going anywhere between 8 to 12 rounds. Slightly heavier might mean less reps, slightly lighter might mean more reps. And if you're shooting ahead, try and challenge your number of reps. So we're going to start with a goblet squat. So if you've got those dumbbells or those backpacks, get the weight to your chest, clamp it into the chest, big high elbows. From here, we're going to squat, but I want your feet narrow as you feel comfortable with. Our toes and our knees travel forward. We squat down, then we drive through the heels. Now the reason I want that narrow stance is because I want you focusing on the quads. So this is going to bring your quads into play more. If you get those feet right next to each other, drop, drive. Notice how I'm just allowing my knees to flare ever so slightly. Drop and drive. Keep the core braced, drive through the heels. I want you to try and imagine that you're extending your legs. So at the top, those quads are flexed strong. Anywhere between 8 and 12 of those. Then you go straight into what we call a Romanian deadlift. It's essentially a weighted hip hinge. With a single dumbbell, you can send that between your legs, aiming for your ankle bones. Soft knees, send the bum back, dumbbell to ankle bones until you feel that stretch through the hamstring. Then drive heels down, squeeze bum at the top. This should be squeezed rock solid. We can do that with a double dumbbell as well. Slide down, aim for ankle bones, drive. Focus on the lower body, not the back. And then finally, feet are going to need to be up on something. We're going to do a raised glute bridge. You try to drive your heels down, which squeezes your bum up. You're wanting to feel this through the hamstrings. If you want to load this, grab some weight on your hips, and that'll just increase that challenge. If you're doing body weight, all the movements stay the same. Sound cool? So 8 minutes, 3 to 4 rounds, 8 to 12 reps on each movement. We are going in 5, 4, 3, 2, let's go. So we start with that narrow goblet squat. I'm going to go double dumbbell. The movement remains the same. Drive. Now drive through the heels, flex the legs. Control. Drive, flex the legs. 3, 4. I'm trying to keep my core braced, my chest upright. I'm trying to drive through those heels, and at the top, I'm trying to straighten my leg as straight as it will go. And I'm trying to straighten that leg all through the movement. Now, of course, if that's too much for knees, backs, feels uncomfortable, just go normal squat, but the principle remains the same. You're trying to straighten that leg throughout. Anywhere between 8 and 12 reps. 10 will do. From here, I'm going to carry on with double dumbbell. Feet shoulder width apart, toes forward, soft knees. I'm trying to aim the dumbbells for my ankle bones. So to do that, I have to shift the bum backwards. Keep that core braced. Keep those dumbbells close. When you feel that stretch, focus on squeezing the bum. The first thing that contracts is the bum and the hips driving forward. Don't pull with the lower back. Now, one thing I didn't mention is that we really want to be controlled with the movement. Remember I said we're trying to be perfect. So take your time, make sure you're feeling it in the right places and the right places are working. So on that one, like I said, we want to feel glutes, hamstrings, not lower back. When we go into our raised glute bridge, knees at 90 degrees, heels on your bench or sofa, you're going to drive the heels down, squeeze the backs of your legs, so you're trying to drag your heels towards you, squeeze your bum, control. Squeeze those legs, squeeze the bum, control. Strong hands, drive them into the floor. Keep that core tight. Now remember, it's 8 to 12 reps per movement. There's that little bit of wiggle room there for you to decide how much of each movement you do. So play around with that first round. See how you get on. Maybe 8's just right. Maybe 8's not enough, you want to go for 12. Maybe some movements you want more than others. Now if you've noticed, we've got 2 pushing movements to 1 pulling movement. So 1, for our legs, one for our quads, 2 for our hamstrings and glutes. I've done that on purpose. Sometimes we have a habit using the front too much, not the back. We've got to even that up for posture, for balance. It'll actually help your back. So we've just hit the 3-minute mark. Hopefully you haven't been dawdling as much as me. I've been chin-wagging a bit. You're maybe into your 3rd round, maybe about a 2nd round, maybe you're about halfway through the 2nd round, coming up to the 3rd. Remember, I only want 3 to 4 rounds. More isn't better. Better is better. Slow down, take your time, make every rep perfect. So, ears up while you're moving. I'll take you through those key points again. So, for that narrow stance goblet squat, big high elbows, big proud chest, tummy tight. We drop down, opening up those hips. Then I drive through the heel, flex the leg. Try and straighten that leg as much as you can. That's going to really engage the front of the leg. That's what we're after here. The quads, the front of the leg. Drive heels, flex legs at the top. Anywhere between 8 and 12. For our Romanian deadlift, our weighted hip hinge. Keep the dumbbells close. Aim for your ankle bones. Belly button tucked in, soft knees. Slide down the front of your legs. Feel the stretch in the back. Drive the heels down, squeeze your bum. Don't even think about moving the lower back. If you squeeze the bum, squeeze the hamstrings, the body will stand tall anyway. Remember, if you've got that single dumbbell, same principle, actually makes it a bit easier because you can send the dumbbell through your legs, keep it even tighter, aim for those ankle bones. Then squeeze the bum. On those glute bridges, we're trying to drive the heels through the bench, drag them to your bum. Imagine dragging your heels to your bum. That's going to really engage your hamstrings. Whilst that's happening, you're squeezing your bum so that at the top, when my hips are the highest, backs of my legs are on fire. Keep that core tight. Don't let that lower back do any of the work. He's not invited to this party. This is all about legs. Good work, team. 5 minutes and 15 seconds down. So you've got about 3 minutes-ish left, just under 2.5, something like that. Don't rush. I don't care if you get 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 rounds. That's not what today's about. Today is about overloading muscles so that they're burning. That's what we're going for today. It's not a lung burner, it's a muscle burner. And being perfect with every rep. So, with those narrow stance squats, we're flexing those legs. Really flexing and driving those legs. With our RDLs, we're trying to sit into those hips and then squeeze the glutes, feel hamstrings and bum. With those raised glute bridges, heels down, hamstrings curled, bum squeezed, and that's what gets us that muscle burn. 2 minutes to go, team. 2 minutes. So from here, drop, drive and flex. Drop, drive and flex. Beautiful work. Anywhere between 8 and 12. By now, you've found that perfect rep range. That perfect number of reps per movement that keeps that control. Now, even if you have been staying controlled and you've still completed 4 rounds, don't stop now. Of course, go on to your 5th, fill up the remaining minute and a half that we've got. But what I didn't want you to do is rush ahead thinking, yeah, I've got this Scully, I'll get 10, 11, 12 rounds, I'll show you not what today's about. But if you're on to that 5th, carry on with that 5th. Remember, on those hinges, keep everything tight, drive, heel, squeeze, bum. Keep everything tight, drive, heel, squeeze, bum. We are into our final minute. Stay perfect. Stay perfect. Beautiful work, team, beautiful work. Legs should be nicely burning by now, nicely crackling. Good work, guys. 30 seconds. Good work, good work, good work. 15 seconds to go. I'm going old school PE teacher, stopwatch. Beautiful work. 10 seconds. Finish on quality, just keep moving with the movement you're doing. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and time. Beautiful work. Grab yourself that drink, grab yourself that towel, towel yourself down, and then we're moving focus. We are going to overload our upper body pulling muscles, essentially back and biceps, okay? Same principle, 3 movements, 8 minutes to get 3 to 4 rounds of quality, 8 to 12 reps on each, slow and controlled movements. So, first movement is going to be an alternating loaded bent over row. Sounds like a lot, it's easy, don't worry. Our bent over portion is just that hip hinge that you've been practicing. Tight core, look at the floor, sit into the hips. Then from here, retract shoulder blades, pull those dumbbells back. You're now in your starting position. This is starting position. From here, you're going to drop one dumbbell while the other stays up, then row it back into position and change. Drop one dumbbell while the other stays up and row. So it would look like this. 1, 1, 2, 2. So we're always trying to keep our back turned on. Focus is shoulder back, shoulder blade squeezed, big proud chest. Okay? Beautiful work, 8 to 12 of those. Then we stand up tall, we keep the dumbbell, before we move on. If you are backpack, you're just going to do a backpack row. If you're body weight, you're going to grab your towel, rip it apart. So you're trying to get maximum outward tension, then hinge. You're going to row with high elbows. So you're going to just slightly hit your traps a little bit more. So if you're on that towel and body weight, rip apart, keep that outward tension, row with high elbows, okay? If your dumbbells, you're rowing with close elbows. Beautiful work. Then we move on to a bicep curl. Bicep curl of choice. All I ask is you roll shoulders back, big proud chest, elbows stay locked. I would suggest hammer curls. So that's thumbs and dumbbells to ceiling. But of course you could do a regular curl, which is pinky to ceiling. 8 to 12. If your body weight, you're going to grab your towel. One arm's going to curl, so my right hand's going to curl. My left hand's going to give resistance. So my left is pulling away while my right is pulling up. Curl, control. Curl, control. So my right arm's fighting against that resistance on my left. 8 each arm. Then finally, we're going to do a rear fly. Into my bent over position, shoulder blades back, trying to pull those dumbbells apart. Pull those dumbbells apart. Now, if you've only got one pair of dumbbells and that's too heavy, or if you're body weight, you're still going to do the same movement. I really want you to focus on the squeeze of the shoulders, keeping them back, really trying to touch shoulder blades together. Sound cool? I'll keep reminding you as we go through. So get ready to go into that loaded bent over row with single arm alternatives. 3, 2, 1. 8 minutes, off we go. So, stand tall, hinge, both dumbbells up, now we start. Drop, pull, 1, then switch. 1, 2. Notice I'm really trying to keep that elbow back. 2, keep that belly button squeezed in. 3, stick to the heels. 3, 4, 4, 5, this one burns that back. 5, 6, 6, 7, 7, 8, 8. Now shake off those hands. We're really trying to pull those shoulder blades back. Now we're into our curl. Big proud chest, roll shoulders, elbows stay close. Up, pause, down. There's 2. Now we don't want to swing on these, there's 3. We want that little bit of control. Again, if you've got dumbbells that are too heavy, grab a single dumbbell, hold it under the rubber. You're just going to do a close grip bicep curl. Beautiful work. Squeeze those biceps at the top. Little mini pause at around 90 degrees, anywhere between 8 and 12. Then finally we're into those flies. This is the movement. Shoulders back, open up, okay? So from here, shoulders back, open up. 1, 2, 3. Really trying to touch those shoulder blades together on every rep. So by now, our upper back should be nice and awake. Good work, team, very nice. So that is 2 minutes down, but we managed to get a round done in 2 minutes. If we keep that tempo up, 4 rounds we should hit perfectly. Now the key to this every time is that shoulder retraction. We don't want to be starting for a dropped position. Shoulders back, then we row, then we drop one arm while retracting. We're really trying to touch shoulder blades behind. Now if that alternating row becomes too much, just go a bent over row, that's fine. The second key is to not feel it in that lower back. Really brace that core, sit into those heels, send those bums back. Beautiful work, guys. Keep it going for me, keep it going. We're coming up to the 3-minute mark. Don't rush, it's about quality. Every rep is perfect. Every round is quality. Beautiful work. So into our alternating loaded rows. Keep a solid tempo. Control. I won't put a time limit on it. I will just ask that you're controlled. Sit into those heels. The dumbbell that's not moving, you're fighting hard to keep that shoulder blade to the ceiling. Then we just get to relax, then we reset. Relax, reset. And then relax. If you have to shake off between, shake off between. If you can get straight into those curls, do so. Now remember, we can do those hammers, thumbs to ceiling. We can also go little pinky fingers to ceiling. Pinkies to ceiling. All I ask you, have that little pause, that means I'm in control. We don't want bicep curls like that. It's not the bicep working. Keep that control. Keep perfect. Beautiful work. And then shake off those hands, then we're onto those rear flies. Now remember, if we're on the body weight and the towel, those biceps are going to be a bit weird to do. My right arm's going to be doing the curling, so that grabs hold of my towel. My left hand grabs the bottom. My left hand grabs the bottom. And then this gives a bit of resistance. I pull up with this arm, this hand's just fighting against it, then I release down. Pull up, release down. Pull up, release down. Beautiful work, guys, keep it going. Beautiful, hopefully you're back with me. I don't know if the camera power there. So, just saying, with those body weight towel bicep curls, again, left hand. The left hand grabs the top of the towel, right hand grabs just below it. Left hand curls, right hand give it a bit of resistance, then we release. Left hand curls, right hand a bit of resistance, then release. Beautiful work, team. 3 minutes to go. Remember on those rear flies, shoulders have to stay pinched behind. Then we pull those dumbbells apart, really squeezing shoulder blades together. Your thought process is you're trying to touch elbows behind your back. Oh, yes. That back is burning nicely. On those hinges, keep that core tight. Keep that core braced. Don't let that lower back in on the party. Upper back only today. Good work, guys. We're coming into the final 2 minutes. That might be just enough time for one more round. But remember, it's not a sprint today. Today's all about perfect reps in everything we do. Good. Keep your shoulder blades back. Sit into those hips. Squeeze shoulder blades to ceiling. Knock those elbows behind you. Then we drop, drive. Good work, team. Keep it up, keep it up. 30 seconds, a minute, 30 seconds to go. So that might be just enough time for one more perfect round. Remember, on the towel, rip that towel apart, hinge, then you're just going to have to slightly change your row. You're rowing with high elbows. You're still trying to squeeze those shoulder blades back, but you're just going to hit the top of the trap slightly. If your dumbbells, those elbows locked back, and we row there. Beautiful, coming into that final minute. Keep perfect with every rep. Good work, team. Good, 45 seconds to go. Remember, if those alternating rows become too much, or maybe you've just started a new round, just give me some double arm rows. Same principle though. I'm still trying to knock those shoulder blades behind me. Look how slow I'm going on the descent. I'm using my back to control the speed that I lower these dumbbells. Good work, 30 seconds to go. 30 seconds. Nice, keep that control. Keep that control. 15 seconds to go. 10 seconds. Beautiful work, beautiful work. 5, 4, 3, 2, and time. Beautiful work. Grab yourself a drink, towel yourself down. That is our upper body pull done. We are going to finish on our upper body push. Same principle, 8 minutes, 3 to 4 perfect rounds, 8 to 12 reps per exercise. Hopefully by now you've figured out that everything's nice, slow and controlled. Okay, great stuff, team. So pushing, I'm going to give you some options. It depends whether you want to hit your chest more or your shoulders more. Now I'm going to suggest that we go shoulders because we do a lot of press ups, so it'll just be a nice change. But by all means, if you want to do push on your chest, please do. Now for the shoulders, we're going to use the same principle we did with our back. We're going to do an alternating press. Now I like to go half kneeling because it naturally tilts the pelvis underneath, but I'm still going to squeeze the bum to keep tilted. I'm going to brace my core. That's going to protect my lower back. Now, if you want to just go a straight press, elbows up high at the front, drive above head, control down, you can. If you want another challenge though, you're going to go alternating. But notice where this dumbbell is. It's a little bit loaded. It's not resting on shoulders, it's hovering just above. So we would go 8 alternating like we did on our pulls. Or you can go chest press. Very slight arch in that lower back. That comes from pulling my shoulder blades to my back pocket. Elbows to 45 degrees so the dumbbells are in line with chest. Feet planted, bum squeezed, tummy tight. From here, I'm not pushing the dumbbells up. I'm pushing myself away and the dumbbells will move. Control to 45 degrees and drive. If you want that challenge, watch this. Hover elbows just above floor, then alternating, keeping those elbows hovered, okay? If you're doing body weight, you can either do 8 push-ups, or for shoulders, 8 pike push-ups, or you can do a wire press with your towel. As I'm pushing up, I'm pushing out and back, out and back. Similarly, on my back, I'm pushing up and out, okay? So you've got loads of options there. Don't worry, I'll keep reminding you as we go. Then we go into a front raise and side raise if you want to. So my front raise looks like this. Big proud chest, shoulders back. I'm gonna under control, raise dumbbells in front, back down. It's not a swing. Similarly, if that's a little bit heavy, grab the dumbbell, front raise. Then I'm gonna send dumbbells out, but it's up to you. The out is optional. We'll definitely try the front. And then finally, and of course we can do that with our towel. So a bit like the biceps, I grab with my right, my left's gonna resist, raise, control, raise, control, 8 each arm. And then finally, skull crusher. Lay myself down on my back, hands high, elbows stay locked in place. I pivot my forearms around my elbows then squeeze. And of course, if the dumbbell's that bit heavy, here, and squeeze. If we're body weight, side of the sofa, do some dips for me. Shoulders back, big proud chest, drop, drive the palms through the bench. Too much talking, let's get moving. All I need you to figure out now is if you're doing shoulder press or chest press. 5, 4, 3, 2, off we go. So I'm going to do that half kneeling shoulder press. I'm going to do alternating press. Now notice how I'm keeping that dumbbell just hovering above the shoulder. Trying to really punch to the ceiling. Keeping that core braced, that pelvis squeezed under, everything staying nice and tight. Anywhere between 8 and 12. Now of course, you can go double overhead if you wish, but I like just that little turn. Anywhere between 8 and 12. Now after that, we're going into our front raise. Big shoulders, big chest, control and down. Now you can only front raise if you wish. You can do front raise to side raise if you wish. So big proud chest, raise, control, out, control. Hitting both planes of the shoulder, front, side. We've already hit the back of the shoulder with those rear flies. Now we're just finishing it off. 4, 5, trying to keep those shoulders locked back the whole time. 6, 7, it's heavy. And 8. Good, then we're into those skull crushers. Block the shoulders back, elbows high. The only thing that moves is my forearm round the elbow, hard as you can. Almost like you're trying to dislocate it. Here, you drive. Beautiful work. So, I'm keeping those shoulders locked in, and I'm trying to straighten that arm as much as I can. Good, keep it going, team. So from here, that elbow stays locked. Extend that arm as straight as you can. Beautiful work, guys, beautiful work, keep it going. So we've just hit the 2.5 minute mark. Hopefully you're still with me, hopefully my internet's not going crazy. Good, 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 we're back in the room, we're back in the room. So we're about 2.5 minutes through. Remember, this round is all about perfection, just like every other round. So when we go back to our press, maybe we're on chest press. Big proud chest, lock shoulder blades down, drive the world away, drive the dumbbells away, push yourself into the ground. Drive. Drive. Now if you want that challenge, hover the elbows, alternating press. Good. Anywhere between 8 and 12. The dumbbells and the weight will determine how many you do. Obviously, the heavier, the fewer reps. Remember, if we're doing those press-ups, we've got to keep those elbows down. Pull the shoulder blades down, elbows at 45 degrees, aiming for the chest, drive the world away. Remember, we've also got those towel alternatives. We roll outwards as we push up into that wide press. You just get that little bit of tension on the outside of the shoulders as well. Beautiful work, team, beautiful work, team. Just coming up to the halfway mark. Now, if you're on the towel, how do you do those front raises? I grab with my right, that's my arm that's gonna move. My left gives resistance. This muscle in the front is gonna help me raise my arm, control down. Raise my arm, control down. Now my left hand is just giving that little bit of resistance. 4. Even on the lower, 5. My left's just pulling it down, my right's controlling. 5, 6, you want to feel that in the front of the shoulder. 7, 8, then switch. 1, big proud chest. 2, got those shoulders back. 3, beautiful. 7 and 8. Beautiful work. Now, if we're on body weight, we're on as dips. So, onto that piece of equipment that you had your legs on earlier. Roll shoulders back, big proud chest, just hover your bum off. Then we bend the arms and drop. Then we're driving palms through that bench towards the floor. If I have my knees bent, it's a bit easier. If I set my legs straighter, it's a bit harder because I can't rely on those legs to help. Again, we're trying to straighten that arm. Feel it down the back. Beautiful, keep it going team. 2.5 minutes to go. Now notice how I'm really trying to keep that pelvis tucked under, keeping that core squeezed, protecting that lower back. Dumbbells are just hovering above shoulders. That means shoulders have to stay turned on the whole time. Especially with those front raises, these shoulders are going to be burning now. Oh. Beautiful. Now if the front is getting too much, don't do front raises, do side raises. Now of course with our dumbbells, that's easy enough. Shoulders rolled back, we're trying to pull those dumbbells as far apart from each other as we can, elbows slightly higher. If you've got that towel, here's what you're going to do. Grab the end of the towel, we're going to go thumb away from us, okay? From here, the left hand's going to give a bit of resistance, while that right hand pulls, controls. Pulls, controls. We're trying to feel it down the outside of the shoulder. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Beautiful work. Woo. Left arm's pulling. Right arm resists. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. No sound, trying to keep that elbow high. 7, 8. Beautiful work, team. Beautiful work. We have got 45 seconds to go. Can we finish those last round of skull crushers? Beautiful work. 30 seconds, team. 30 seconds. Keep it going for me. Keep it going. Stay in that zone. Stay perfect on those skull crushers. Control, drive, squeeze that tricep. 15 seconds to go. 15 seconds. Stay strong for me. We're going in 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and time. Beautifully done, team. Beautifully done. So hopefully a nice little change of pace for you. Sometimes we go super quick all the time. This was our chance to slow things down. Think about how we're using the muscle, really squeezing, controlling, contracting. Hopefully you took your care, you took your time on every movement like we asked, so you should have a nice little pump up in those muscles. Different type of feeling, not a lung burner today, a muscle burner. Do me a favour, jump yourself up, get yourself into a door frame. I'm going to give you 2 different stretches to open up those tight shoulders. So first one is our door frame stretch. That's going to hit the pec and the shoulder where they join. Hand goes just below shoulder level. I roll my hand and my elbow out, so my elbow crease is facing the ceiling. Big proud chest, and then all you're going to do from here is just slightly rotate away. So I'm trying to push this chest ever so slightly forward. We want to feel that stretch in here. Take your time, control. So if your chest is feeling a bit tight, that's what you're going to do. If your shoulder is feeling a bit tight, hand behind back, big proud chest, elbow on the door frame. This time you're going to turn towards your elbow. That's going to rotate your hand back. Just get a bit of rotation through the front of the shoulder. Whatever alternative you're doing, I want you to find a 3 or a 4 out of 10 intensity stretch, hold that for 30 seconds. So whether you're opening up your chest or you're rotating those shoulders, 3 or 4 out of 10 in terms of intensity, hold for 30 seconds. So remember, that chest stretch, roll that shoulder, big proud chest, little rotation away. I'm feeling that through here nicely. We're just trying to open up. If we're feeling tight around the shoulder, hand behind, roll that shoulder back, elbow on door frame, that keeps the elbow locked, and then we rotate towards. So now I'm feeling that nicely through there. 3 or 4 out of 10, so if 1 is I can't feel it and 10 is pain, and 3 or a 4. We want to feel the stretch, feel it opening up, but if I was to ask you to sit there for 3 or 4 minutes, you'd be able to do so. You wouldn't be desperately counting down the seconds. So I reckon you should be switching about now. So I'll show you from the back. Hand down below shoulder, rotate that elbow, just a little rotation out, just open up that chest. Shoulder from the back, hand behind, elbow on wall, big proud chest, rotate in and towards. Good work guys, keep that up, keep that up. Another 20 seconds. 10 seconds to go. 5, 4, 3, 2, and time. Now here's what I want you to do. I want you to carry on having a little stretch. Maybe if you tried the chest opener, I want you to try the shoulder opener. If you've got any lower body stuff, you're going to go to the on-demand section now. You're going to go into our movement pattern section, so rev movement, or you're going to go into rev cool down, and you're going to do a little bit of research, okay? There's loads of stuff on there about opening up hips, glutes, hamstrings, shoulders more. I did a little mini series about opening up my back, my hips and my shoulders. In our rev movement, we've got things like combating desk posture. We've got loads of stuff. Your second bit of homework for today, after the video I posted yesterday, is to go out and walk in the grass for at least 5 minutes, barefoot. Kick off those shoes, get your feet in the your toes in the grass, mind out for the worms, walk in the grass barefoot for 5 minutes. Just let me know how you feel. I bet you'll feel a little bit better. Thank you very much for starting your Thursday. Bit of a change of pace, but hopefully we're good and ready to attack the day ahead, and I'll catch you soon.